The tale begins as Sung Jin-Woo, the infamously weakest hunter, arrives at a construction site to join fellow hunters in a raid. Members greet him, and he sits down to chat briefly with his friend Joohee. Despite the risks posed by his limited hunter abilities, he continues working as a hunter as he is the sole earner for his family. Soon, the team leader, Ka-yeol, gathers the rest of the team together as he introduces himself before entering the gate of the dungeon. With growing confidence, Jin-Woo is the last to enter the portal. In the dungeon, Jin-Woo finds himself in danger, struggling against a goblin wielding a machete. His attempt to stab the magical beast shocks him as it shatters, only for him to be stabbed in the stomach, succumbing to his injury on the floor. Team member Gi-sul takes out the goblin, and Joohee heals him. The team eventually defeats the dungeon boss, celebrating as Jin-Woo observes while recovering. Worried, Joohee screams at him to express more of her worries. A team member notifies the rest about a cave entrance he found. The team votes on entering the tunnel, with Joohee choosing not to, while Jin-Woo, the last to vote, casts his vote in favor of entering. Jin-Woo and his team finally reach the end of the tunnel after 40 minutes of walking. That ends with a giant door. As they entered, the giant room inside began to light up with blue flames, accepting to face magic beasts. The team is confused as to what the place appears to be with all of the ancient statues and instructions. Joohee tells Jin-Woo that the biggest statue seems to be staring at them, but he assures her it must be her imagination. Suddenly, the door loudly shuts itself, prompting one team member to hastily leave and attempt to push the door. But to their horror, one of the statues guarding the entrance brutally slaughters him and returns to his position. Witnessing the statue coming to life leaves the team members horrified. Jin-Woo turns around to stare at the largest of all statues, the one Joohee warned him about. Suddenly, the statue's eyeballs turn toward him, reacting just in time. Jin-Woo screams for his comrades to duck as the statue's eye begins to unleash an attack. A destructive light beam launches at the hunters, incinerating a few of them to ashes. As they open their eyes, the horror deepens for the hunters, and Jin-Woo realizes that they are in grave danger. Paralyzed in fear, Jin-Woo's comrades ask each other what to do, having witnessed the traumatic deaths of two members. Ka-yeol warns them not to move, fearing another attack from the statue. Jin-Woo tries to talk to Joohee, but she is too traumatized to respond. Ka-yeol questions Jin-Woo about how he foresaw the attack, and he replies that it was instinct. Shockingly, Ka-yeol has lost an arm due to the statue's attack. Jin-Woo helps stop the bleeding, and Ka-yeol estimates the statue to be around an S rank based on his past experiences as a hunter. Ka-yeol and Jin-Woo contemplate what to do. Another member, frustrated with the situation and having already signed a contract with a large association, attempts to flee using his speed only to be instantly turned into nothing by the giant statue's light beam, leaving only his 2 feet. Despite their deepening fear, they remain composed. Jin-Woo asks Ka-yeol about the first rule from the list they read, upon being reminded that it is to revere the god. Jin-Woo decides to test the statue and realizes that the god referred to is the giant statue. He stands up, then nervously backs down, causing the statue's eyes to glow and stop. Confirming his thoughts, Jin-Woo yells at the other survivors to kneel before the statue. He explains that it will only incinerate those above a certain height limit. Everyone agrees, and the giant statue's expression shifts to a sinister grin. In fear, Park Gi-sul stands up, relieved to see the statue remain motionless. Thinking it's over, the rest of the party stands up, only to be shocked as the statue begins to walk toward them. Considering the second commandment, praise the god, one member claims to be great at praying and volunteers himself as the statue approaches. Unfortunately, the hunter is crushed as the statue's smile widens and it steps on him. Paralyzed in fear, another member of the party, too traumatized, becomes another victim for the statue. Meanwhile, Park Gi-sul thinks of his wife and son as he rushes toward a statue wielding a weapon. Kim tries to warn him about the attacking statue behind, but it's too late. Gi-sul is brutally chopped in half by the statue's sword. Jin-Woo quickly figures out the pattern and orders the survivors to run to statues holding instruments instead of weapons. Kim sees that Jin-Woo is right, rests, and breaks down in tears a bit in front of the statue playing music. Jin-Woo realizes that the statues won't activate if 2 people are standing nearby while music plays. He leaves Joohee with one statue and searches for another holding instruments. Jin-Woo's speed almost leads him to being crushed by the giant statue's foot, but he accidentally rolls to a statue holding a shield, barely escaping the statue's weapon as it drops. Jin-Woo crawls to a nearby statue holding an instrument. He manages to activate it, causing the giant statue to stop pursuing him, return to its throne, and revert its expression to how it was previously. The surviving party members reunite with Jin-Woo. who has lost a leg. Johi tries her best to heal Jin-Woo, but it is a lost cause. Kim grabs his sword and threatens Ka-yeol, emphasizing his responsibility for the lives of their fallen comrades. Meanwhile, Jin-Woo notices the giant statue has created an altar at the center of the place, and he explains that it offers to make a sacrifice. Ka-yeol agrees and walks to the center, activating a flame. Jin-Woo asks 2 other survivors to help him and Juhi walk there, activating more flames in a circle. As all the flames lighten up, the dungeon's door opens. Despite Jin-Woo's instruction for them to not leave, 2 of the members who were helping Jin-Woo left in fear, including Kim, who says that he has a family waiting for him in tears. Now with only Juhi, Ka-yeol, and Jin-Woo left, but Juhi said that her legs are not moving and learned that it is because she used too much of her magic. Jin-Woo hands the essence stone that he got earlier to Juhi and tells her to buy food, causing Juhi to ask him in tears how can he still be joking before getting neck chopped by Kim. Jin-Woo tells Kim to take Juhi with her, with him agreeing. As Ka-yeol leaves while carrying Juhi unconscious, a desperate Jin-Woo grabs the sword that Kim left behind and speaks in his thoughts about his unfortunate desire to become stronger like others. One of the statues, now close enough, launches his weapon at Jin-Woo but misses. Jin-Woo is soon mutilated by the statues as his screams echo in the dungeon. Jin-Woo leans against the altar and attempts to scream something but is stabbed by a statue's spear before getting lifted in the air and be thrown onto the altar. Surrounded by his own blood that spread over the altar, he sees in silent horror as one of the statues raises its sword and lands it on Jin-Woo. A blue flame goes out and an interface appears in Jin-Woo's mind, asking him to either accept or decline to become a player.